My primary business is about designing, implementing, and installation of solar systems. When I first started with QuickBooks, it was very simple because our business was fairly small. So I didn't use a lot of the components of QuickBooks. But now that we're exceeding over $1 million a year, it's become exceedingly complicated for us. I don't understand, or I have not understood in the past, a lot of the different categories and how they interact with one another, or the dynamic of bookkeeping, so to speak, within the QuickBooks online system, which is what we kind of transgress to from the desktop. So honestly, we were spending and had spent quite a bit of money on bookkeepers and CPAs, and still having some problems with our books with regard to money being attributed to the right things, like major equipment expenses and things like that. So I just got to a point myself where I needed to know more about QuickBooks and how it worked so I can understand what to expect from our accounting folks. As I dug into it more and more, I realized our accounting folks weren't really using the QuickBooks system as I would have expected they might. With QuickBooks, with Candus, I'm learning how to look at my P&Ls, look at my profit, those profit areas and those loss areas, and understand where money is going and if it's working out for us. So that's worked out really well. Just a week or so ago, I found over $100,000 that was misappropriated in my accounts payables. A big shocker when I found it. I don't know that the bookkeeper understood what was happening, to be honest with you. The minute I found it, I knew that there was a huge mistake there. So I pretty much had to unwind and through the bill pay system and unwind a bunch of transactions and redo them so the money was appropriated properly, which cleaned up my P&L statement. So that was a huge aha moment for me. In fact, it totally energized me, because then I thought, well, if I can find this, what else am I going to find? So I've literally been trying to spend a little time every day in my books and trying to determine if things are being entered properly and they're going into the correct categories and under the correct allocation tables and everything. So all of that has been a tremendous undertaking, but it's been well worth it for me, because I think when I'm done, I will know instantly when there's a problem instead of finding out at the end of the year like I just did. First off, there's the component of the videos that you watch, and that's very, very helpful. In fact, I watched some this morning. And then we've had the calls where we are actually able to ask questions. Those have been immensely valuable for me because that's honestly how I found the $100,000 discrepancy, was asking some questions. And then she answered those. And then as I applied the information she gave me, I realized, oh my gosh, I got a real problem here. So the videos are excellent. I like to be able to go back to the videos, rehash the videos. I've actually, on my CPA that I currently use, who isn't familiar with QuickBooks Online, I'm kind of giving him lessons on what to do, because he's asking me questions too. So that's been invaluable. But the reality is that's probably some of the real helpful moments on the phone calls when she does explain those difficult questions. I think the Facebook has also been extremely helpful. I've put questions out there and I've pretty much gotten immediate answers. So I've really enjoyed the Facebook option as well. Obviously, I work with a lot of subcontractors, which are, electricians, construction workers and whatnot. And just about every one of them, I'm telling them, you guys need to go through this training for your own business, right? Because they're pretty much in the same boat I am, trying to, manage their business and then try to understand their books. And, that dark area of the books, it can be messy. And especially when you have employees and payrolls and money going out left and right and tax liabilities and all these different areas that you have to take care of. So I kind of put it to them that going through the training is like getting a tune-up for yourself. And you're able to use that tune-up to apply the best business practices through your bookkeeping process and know that your bookkeeper knows what they're doing as well. So that's the other component to that. So I've been recommending this program probably 2 weeks into it when I started to realize the value of it. Prior to the program, I was lost. I'll just be honest with you. I could have looked at my books and not known nothing. I completely didn't understand anything. I just assumed everybody was doing their job and things were done right. But when I realized that's not the case, after going through a couple of weeks of confidence with QuickBooks, that's when I became acutely aware. This is critical. It's critical to understand your software and your programming, you're using the program to advantage of your business. It really means a lot of money. Not knowing the bookkeeping aspect of it or trying to understand that book work, I may not have known the bookkeepers that I had hired and that I was using weren't really doing the job that I thought they were doing for my books. So to sum up, when you're running a business, decisions you make, even though they're subtle, they may not seem important at the time, make all the difference in the world. And I think this decision to go with this training with Candus, and I researched all kinds of training, all kinds, but to go through this training filled a huge void that I think is going to ultimately assist my business into being super successful and me having more time to myself.